We're going to be talking about Nick Cannon, who deadass just said that he is an actual narcissist. Welcome to the For Your Thoughts podcast, where psychology, pop culture, and self meet, where I talk about all things culture, tie it back into self and the lessons that I've learned along the way, mental health, and just overall all the parts of just what make us human, honestly. There's so many layers to what this podcast is about. But where psychology, pop culture, and self meet is like the best way to explain it. I'm so happy to be back after over a year or so. We are on episode 79. And as you can see, we don't have a guest. I am going to be doing solo episodes and we'll be throwing in some guest episodes soon. But until then, we're going to keep it solo. So much has happened like over that time. So much growth, so much change, so much responsibility that I have personally had to take on. But we are here. I took a not to even say that I took a break. I've been wanting to come back for so long, and I was like, for my 33rd birthday, there's no way that I'm going to continue on not pursuing my goals, like not pursuing my dreams. That is not happening. And I'm pursuing them in so many other ways. I have so many other things on my plate. This is one thing that I love to do. I adore this. So I had to get back to you guys and chat. And I want to really get like a close and personal relationship with you guys before we even bring guests in. I want y'all to get to know me more. I feel like the past episodes were way more about the guests, but like let's get to know me more and really like what my goal is for the universe and for the world. Can we please have some more empathy and humanity? Can we please see each other? Can we please have different opinions and still understand each other, still get along, still be able to be in a world with each other without it being and wreaking havoc? Before we get into the episode and have some fun, I have something super exciting to share with you guys. I am launching a mental health provider resource and directory called For Your Thoughts, www.foryourthoughts.org. And I'm going to go into why, and then I'm going to tell you what it is. So me being a multi-hyphenate creative, I struggled a lot with my mental health because I never thought I was doing life right. Like I just never thought I was doing this right. I feel like we all feel like that a lot of the times. The way that therapists would relate to me, I feel like there was a part of me that they just couldn't understand or couldn't see. And it was like the biggest part of me, which was me being a creative, me being a dreamer, me being a doer. They just couldn't grasp that side of me or speak to it very well. And I think that it's so important for everyone to have a mental health provider or a spiritual guide or however you find your healing, make sure that they speak your language. We've all had like those horrible therapists or just really bad therapists, and you know, I really wanted to pull together thousands of therapists and mental health providers who truly speak the language of a creative, an entrepreneur, a dreamer, and a doer. I worked in music, and even just hearing about how if someone maybe is addicted to a substance, or if someone's like having survivor's remorse as someone who got their first like couple million and now their whole life changes and everyone changes around them. Like not everyone can speak to someone like that. I feel like there are special people that can do that, and I wanted to like pull together just a resource of people who want to work with that scene in that crowd and appreciate creatives, entrepreneurs, dreamers, and doers, and can really speak to that language, because I feel like that will also help us bridge the gap to our wildest dreams. And I'm just really excited for you guys to check it out. And right now, we have the landing page. Go there right now. It's www.foryourthoughts.org, and you sign up. And we have so much in store, so much to come. events. If you work at an agency, if you work at a record label, um, anywhere, and you guys really want to just have somewhere where you can pull therapists from who are trusted, who are loyal, hit me up, let me know. And I just want to build this thing out. And it's going to be more than just therapists, psychiatrists, spiritual guides. We're going to have group therapy. We're going to have literally so many different things. We're like just getting started. And yeah, and another aspect of it is like finding people who understand like the pressures of social media, the pressures of those damn trolls on socials. Like if you are an influencer, even we can go and see like what has happened with Pilates by Raven and how those comments are. And although, like I'm not even going to speak on like what she said, but imagine like how she's mentally feeling right now, and think about having someone who understands all of that. Think about finding a therapist who understands the cultural zeitgeist, who understands all of that, who might be watching Love Island too. You know what I'm saying? Like just culturally aware and adept mental health providers who are able to fix it. Jesus, help us. Help me. Help me. So let's go on to our next topic. We're going to be talking about Nick Cannon, who deadass just said that he is an actual narcissist. So we finally found out why Nick Cannon has so many kids. And if you're like me, I was like, is he trying to create his own little town, like Cannonville? Is he doing like, is this like a family or it's like a population? Like, what are you truly creating here? And I'm from Kenya, so it's not really foreign for people to have like 15 kids. I feel like my grandpa had like hella siblings. That's not foreign. I feel like having kids in Africa kind of like shows your manhood. It's like an ego thing. It shows that you have enough to provide for all of those kids if you're doing it correctly. So it's like you're building a village, literally. So that's what I thought that Nick Cannon was on in a sense. And I was like, I wasn't really mad at it. Something about it was kind of regal, if you ask me. Everyone side-eyed why Nick Cannon had so many kids, but he finally revealed why today on The Breakfast Club. And it is because of, drumroll please, narcissism. Yeah, the word that keeps on giving. Nick Cannon said he was officially diagnosed with the disorder and he went to go get his test. Of course, as you know, everything is on the spectrum. He explicitly said that he does not have any of the lack of empathy, abusive type of traits, but he definitely does have the ego inflation, thinking he's extremely special, that his word is the one that matters, etc. And what's really interesting is because Nick Cannon is a child star. Are you born with narcissism, or is that something that you get because of like environmental factors? And it's honestly and truly both. And whenever things are like, okay, you get this from genetics when it comes to mental health, a lot of the times it's like definitely passed down through genetics, but also just through your environment. Like you have the same environment that your parents had, the same temperaments, same ways of living, the same anxieties and ways of being that gets passed on to make it genetics, but it's still environmental. So with him, I don't know if it's genetics, environmental, but I would assume that because he grew up a child star, everyone was always telling him that he was special because he literally was. He was providing for his family as a kid. He was making all the choices and decisions. He was able to do whatever he wanted. So of course you're going to grow up and think that of yourself, and everyone else keeps telling you that. And if you don't know how else to be, that's just kind of where you're going to lay. And like too much of anything is destructive. Too much access, too much power is destructive. Yeah, he basically said that having all of those kids was really like a trauma response. I've never seen Nick Cannon as like a bad person. I've never ever seen that. So when you hear the term narcissism, you don't think Nick Cannon. And I really do appreciate him speaking on that. And him and Charlemagne had a really amazing, Charlemagne and Lauren LaRosa had a really amazing conversations about his personal healing. And he spoke to my favorite doctor, Dr. Amen. Y'all know I love me some Dr. Amen. I talked about him on an episode way back in the day. He was Justin Bieber's doctor as well. So he does these like brain scans, and outside of just being a narcissist, he also found that there's some like toxicity happening in his brain. There's like so many other factors that can contribute to what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? It can be mold in the freaking air vent, and that could lead to brain toxicity, could lead to depression and all these things. So that was such a good conversation. Shout out to Nick Cannon for really diving in and talking about that. And I just encourage everyone to just be like more self-aware. Don't overdo it now. I don't want to hear y'all talk about I'm this, I'm that. Like that's kind of annoying. Like all the people that be saying that they have autism, I'm like, yeah, but do you? Like go get a real test. Now to the men who don't have it like Nick Cannon and are spreading their seed across all of the USA, you need to chill. You don't need to be doing all that. And you probably have the same disorder. So let's go figure that out. The difference between narcissism and just knowing and feeling like you're special is what is behind it. When it comes to being a narcissist, it becomes a shield. You inflate this huge ego to protect something that's extremely broken and extremely weak within yourself. And someone who's special just like or just knows that they're special, because we all are special, knows that they're special and that everyone is special, and they just kind of walk in that. It's not like you're creating this big aura to protect what's really happening on the inside. So that's why it's so important to heal, go to therapy, check out foryourthoughtspod.org to find you a therapist. Well, we thought that Nick Cannon was building a village, or at least I thought that. He was really building a shield for himself to protect himself. And that the thing is, when we do that, it's all out of protection for ourselves. So yeah, I really will never forget seeing that man at Dumbo House with his uh with what like a baby stroller. I'm like, now what baby number is this? I didn't know which baby it was, I couldn't keep up. I don't even know how many he has. I'm gonna actually look up how many kids Nick Cannon has right now. Okay, he got 12. Nick Cannon has 12 kids. That is okay. Now, once you hit like 15, you doing a lot, but 12, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm thinking about some African shit right now. Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. But yeah, let's move on to our last topic, which will be the great lock-in. Okay, y'all, we're gonna get into our last topic. This is like where I'm just gonna like talk about what I'm experiencing, what's happening around me, and everyone's been talking about the great lock-in, and I'm like, okay, I don't know where it came from. I need to look up who said it and where it came from, but I always love the idea of get your shit together and isolate yourself. But what I do want to add is we are always trying to get our shit together. And I want people to just live. I'm literally talking to myself because there's no way, this is not the American dream of us just keeping doing stuff and doing stuff and doing stuff. Like, yes, improve, work on yourself, heal, do all the things. And this is coming from the girl who spent this whole year locking in. I spent this whole year locking in. I didn't really have a summer. I had a summer, but I didn't have like, a New York summer, a Euro summer. I locked in on my finances, on my health, on everything. I swear I probably have had like 4 to 5 like nights out drinking for real in this whole like year, literally. And if you know me, like that's crazy. And it has led me to here, has led me to building what I said that I was going to build and what I said that I was going to do. So for those purposes, lock the fuck in. Lock in. And for me, FOMO would always get me. I'd be like, damn, maybe I should be doing this. Maybe I should be doing that. It's like, that's all still going to be there. And especially if you have multiple projects and things that you want to do, your life is going to look different than someone who is just going to work and doing their, because I'm like, damn, all my friends get to have fun, or all my friends have to get to, do everything. I'm like, this sucks. It's like, you want something different. For the great lock-in, another thing I would say was start small. Like, I always say this when it comes to like habits and things like that. You're not going to get up and work out at 5 a.m. Like, that's not going to happen if you never did it before. And you start small. Go at 8 a.m. Wake up and stretch. Like, build yourself up into that spot. But I love that the Great Lock-in is happening. I hope that it's not just for content and that people are really locking in. And I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of myself. And this has been another episode of the Pennie for Your Thoughts podcast. Please go and like, comment on the YouTube channel, on my TikTok, on my Instagram. Just engage is what I need right now to bring us back to life. And stay tuned. Go to foryourthoughts.org and subscribe. Even if you're not looking for a therapist right now, maybe later, just be in the know of what's happening and what's to come. And I hope y'all are just living y'all's best life, seriously. And that's it for today. If I tell y'all what I had been through to make this episode, I don't know if you'd believe me. And I hope the sound was okay. I'm letting go of the perfectionism and just working through the kinks. Like, let's build as we go. That's what I'm on. So, good night, and until next time.